leadership programs. And you are listening to the SOB Radio Ear Network and my show for women who want to be magnetic, sexy, ageless, and abundant. Today, I just want to add to what we discussed in our last session, which was about spiritual practices. And I shared the importance of correct breathing with you, and that daily meditation and yoga stretches together with the breathing exercises we did last time is really all you need for peaceful yet clear thinking. So it gives you a peaceful and clear mind. If you do your daily meditations, even if it's just for a few minutes, minimum, of course, let's say 5 to 10, better 20 minutes or even half an hour. So this really ends the series on empower yourself spiritually and these practices, your spiritual practices. And there's so much more to say, which I don't want to go into this at this time because we want to continue. Because in today's episode, I want to share with you two things that you want to consider. Firstly, how you may give up your freedom even without realizing it. And I want to share with you about how to thrive in our environment of constant change. And you know what's going on in the world right now. And look at the political situation in the United States, the race for the presidency and how nasty it is. And we really don't know what the outcome will be. So that brought me to what I want to share with you today. You know, you may not realize that you give up freedom. We are actually designed to be free, no matter where we live or under which conditions. But are you really free? There are many issues that curtail personal freedom, but today I want to talk about one hook that holds you chained to ongoing manipulation or voluntary exchange for something you may desire more or that you give instant gratification for. You learned this barter actually early on. It was most likely inspired from your parents, and by the age of 5 or so you were kind of trained. So what am I talking about here? Let me just ask you a question first. Do you like to be praised? Right, what a question. Of course we do. But think about it for a moment. Most of us would say, sure, it feels good to be praised. And it is true. Of course it is true. The problem is that the praise may also hold you in bondage to the person who does the praising. We heard it so many times from our parents, right? Be a good girl, and a reward was promised. You were lucky if your parents gave you unconditional love, no matter how good or naughty you were in their judgment. But often mothers tell their daughters, especially, to be attentive to what adults want, or the needs of younger siblings. So you ended up pleasing those you loved, because you received love and kindness in return. But when you really think about it, it is a barter. You please and you get praise or love in return. So now I don't say that this is a bad thing. I just want to make you aware of the fact that you may have lost at least part of your freedom early on. I can say this about myself as well. I had a hard time with it. More often than not, I ran into conflict or friction with my parents especially during my teenage years, when I rebelled against rules I did not understand or agree with. It was very painful to do anything against their approval because the consequence of being scolded felt, well, you know that it feels anything but good, right? So consequently, I often pleased on the outside, but rebelled on the inside. You may think that this is a rather typical behavior of a child or adolescent, but you have outgrown it. If you have not outgrown it, then you are not really an adult, right? For me, even as an adult, and especially being a woman, pleasing my husband, my children, other family members, and even friends came kind of natural. Why? Because the program was instilled early on. And I was in good company alongside my most female friends, and then later on, mothers as well. I never forget that feeling. And this is something different now that just came to mind. But when I traveled to Los Angeles, that was in 2011, to receive the Golden Quill Award from the National Academy of Best-Selling Authors for the best-selling book I co-authored. The title is Win, 35 Winning Strategies from Today's Leading Entrepreneurs. It was the first time I became a best-selling author. So I was so excited. And the venue was the famous Roosevelt Hotel in Hollywood, a place with great history for big movie stars. It was a fantastic event, filled with glamour and excitement. Lots of congratulations, praise, and encouragement to continue writing. Yes, I felt elated in the company of so many other great entrepreneurs and authors. Even Brian Tracy was there. And they all either gave a presentation or received the bestseller award as well. Yes, I was hooked, close even to deliriously happy from all the praise. I can call myself a best-selling author now. Yoo-hoo, wow! So on my flight back home, I remember that I started to reflect on how this new status could change my life. I also realized that the emotional attachment to praise really carries a dangerous consequence with it. So what would my emotional state be if I could be criticized or even ridiculed because I'm only a member of a team of authors that compiled the bestseller book? This thought hurt my feelings immediately, which showed me my emotional attachment to the praise. I even started to defend my best-selling author status by having a conversation in my head that went something like this. Okay, after all, a 4 by 400 meters relay team that wins a gold medal is comprised of 4 champions. And the winning football team has as many champions as there were players on that field. You see, that monologue in my head should have made me feel much better, and yet it only did so a little bit. The real question is, what is my attachment to praise? If it is emotionally strong and uplifting, then the opposite, criticism, will surely pull me down. And think about it, in that moment, I have lost my freedom. So here I want you to think about a situation in your life when you felt wrongly accused, misjudged, or just criticized. How much did another person's judgment affect you? Then think about another situation in your life when you were praised and you felt so great, which is of course natural. Were you afraid maybe to lose that person's love or admiration or approval if you did not measure up or measure up in the future? If so, how short-lived is the thrill of praise? Because that's what it is. It's a thrill. I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that you should not feel the joy of praise or that there is something wrong if you feel disappointed by criticism. I only want you to become aware of what you give away if you become hooked on praise or criticism. Well, we don't get hooked on criticism, we get hooked on praise. The truth is that the pendulum can swing both ways. It has to. That's logical, right? It's physics. You can and should enjoy praise, get inspired, and take the compliment with grace. Just don't get addicted to it. Do not let praise make you a prisoner of your emotions, and do not give your freedom away to another person. If you can take praise with a happy heart and a smile without inflating your ego, you can take any negative opinion with the same smile and grace. Why? Because neither have anything to do with you. You are already magnificent, creative, unique, unlimited, and most of all, you are free. Therefore, nobody and no thing can take this away from you. So stay free and dance with your life and dance to your own tune. Okay, so this was the first part of what I wanted to share with you. And now comes the second part, because we still have some time. And after watching the debate yesterday, the presidential debate, I became aware how really our times are in such shift and balance, and we really don't know what the outcome will be. And I want to share with you how you can thrive in times of change, because change is inevitable. Therefore, balancing your life will be an ongoing exercise, but well worth it. Why? Because only a balanced life will create the joy, the peace, and the happiness you deserve. Right? Well, no, not really, not anymore, because this was the old paradigm. Even I used to live according to this ideal of perfect balance. But times have changed drastically. Trying to achieve or live in perfect balance means that you have to exude a great amount of energy to hold still, to keep that all in balance. Yet we live at a time of tremendous shifts. Even though uncertainty replaces the status quo, we still can be confident, calm, and open to change. We can even thrive in times of change if we wake up from our days, from our sleepwalking. And trying to hold on to what used to feel comfortable will not really work so well anymore. You may as well get used to feeling uncomfortable and a bit out of balance. It is a natural part of progress, of evolution, so don't be alarmed if you feel like that. And at our age, we know times when balance was a wonderful thing, and it stayed. We didn't have to work so hard on it, keeping it. But what is your life really all about in those times, in the times of change we live in now? Do you know? When I asked my clients usually about what they wanted the most, I realized that almost everybody had the same ideals. They want peace, harmony, happiness, health, and the energy to do the things they love to do. I was actually amazed that money was not about the top desires, although the lack of money is a major stressor in most people's lives. The world has become a very small place where everybody who has access to the internet is also connected to the entire world, beyond any physical boundaries. What a breathtaking power this is. And yet it has become a normal part of our lives. But only the few are thinking of this as a way of unlimited possibilities in every way. Learning, communicating, sharing ideas, launching your very own gift to the world. The possibilities are unlimited. Nobody knows exactly what the new normal actually will look like in a few years. But we do know that it will be different again from how the world is today. In the world of finance, politics, and ecology, major chaos brought attention to the unsustainable injustices on a global scale. Although it may look frightening to us, the chaos is a necessary precursor to a new order. And this affects everybody. And we have really very little influence on big scale shifts, although we have not only an opportunity, but we need to be aware that we are part of it all. You have the power on how you experience the changes that take place in your personal life and in your community. You can choose to open yourself and live within a new paradigm. Because with change, there will be a higher demand on your energy. And this is often experienced as stress. But even stress is nothing but an energy that feels uncomfortable or sometimes overwhelming. So the answer to thriving in changing times lies within your ability to turn the stress energy into creative energy. And it has to start, of course, in your physical body and the way you take care of its needs. Your body's needs are rather simple. They are nourishing food, physical exercise, and adequate sleep, together with joyful occupation, communication with other human beings, families, friendship, and feeling part of something larger than your own little world, than your ego. And that's really it. That's it. So what are the things that uplift your spirit, stimulate your imagination, and what energizes your body? The new paradigm encourages you to own your responsibility for your life. This is for your personal advancement, but also because you are an intrinsic and important part of the whole. What you think, feel, and do matters. Quantum physics has proven beyond any doubt that everything on our planet is energetically connected with each other and has an influence on the whole. And we have discussed this. And do you remember the NASA, the energy shift or drop in the electromagnetic field of the Earth? Sometimes unwanted habits creep in our life, yes. Firstly, only uncomfortable until they create a problem on a physical, mental, or even emotional level. Now you feel you need help. But nobody can help you unless you recognize the root of your stress and are willing to break or replace your bad habits with a good one. Here are a few tips of what you may want to do. And this, again, everything starts with your physical body. So, and the nutrition, what you feed your body. So first of all, I want you to throw out as many junk food items as you find in your kitchen cabinets. Because unless you start honoring your physical body and what you feed it, your body will be in stress and toxic overload. Supplement your food with appropriate vitamins, minerals, and special combinations to support the weakest part in your body system. And you should find out what that system is, because we all have strengths and weaknesses. Then schedule time with yourself to connect to the healing energies of nature. Laugh and sing more often. It works wonders for your body. Happy moods release endorphins that are amazing. Maybe play an instrument. Or if you have pets, play with them. Play with your children, grandchildren. Play with your partner. Play is the best stress relief, and it's a great communicator. We never really lose our inner child at any age. It may be just a little bit dusty or covered up. So bring it out again. Life, yes, life is serious, but it is also fun. And we can only enjoy it to the fullest when we are a bit out of balance, when we explore new things, create from a new mind, dare and explore. So balance used to be the desired state, but everybody who tries hard to stay balanced is actually in danger to break. You have to dance with the different currents by being flexible, ready for sudden change, while staying in alignment with your core, of course. If this is how you see the new balance, good for you, because you have gained the ability to thrive in any environment. You can look into the future fearlessly and with great expectations for a life of unlimited possibilities and abundant creativity. So I want to close it today with this. And of course, next time in our next episode, the second part of how to create abundant wealth. And wealth is not just money. Wealth is everything that affects your life. Your body is your greatest wealth. Your mind, your emotions. Okay, so don't forget that. All right, so this is it for now. See you next week. All of my love to you. Bye-bye.